Guess who's back on Heavy Muscle Radio?
Live. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution. And we're back for another installment of Heavy Muscle Radio. Look who I got with me, John Romano.
And where are you?
Gee, where am I?
You're gone. I'm here. I'm here. Now you're gone.
You can't see me?
No.
Oh, shit. You can hear me, though.
I can hear you. Yeah.
I wonder why you can't see me. I see me.
No, I don't see you. You're black.
I
The
am.
whole screen is black, not just you.
Is that a racist comment?
Didn't take me long, did it?
Blinking and shit like that in my face.
Okay, now you're totally gone. Guess I'll have to just take over. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
keep talking.
now you're there.
Keep talking. Just tell some stories. Tell some Romano stories, all right? While I figure this out.
Some Romano stories about how this used to be my show.
That's right. That's right. We stole it from you.
Then I got stolen from me. Yeah. And then because, well, you all know that story, but it was fortuitous that Dave and I created this channel and this show back when we did. And going over this last year of what's gone on in our industry, our business, the people we've lost, things that have happened. And we're at a time when a lot's going on,
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned that, because I talked to Jimmy the Bull, and he's desperately wants to come on the show. And I invited him. I said, you know what? I'm going to invite him on tonight, because he's always complaining that he has to drive a truck during the day, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I invited him to come on tonight with us, and he's like, I got to go to sleep. I got to get up at 1 a.m. I got to drive the truck. Does the guy ever sleep? I mean, I don't.
The thing with him in that truck is that
Valentino?
the truck is pretty much his wife at this point. Because the truck, it's the truck that determines everything: where he goes, when he goes, how long he stays, what he's doing, who he can talk to, who he can't talk to, where he's looking. It's just like being married.
I'm sending you a link, Greg. You can come on too if that's really you, Greg.
No, it's not Greg.
Oh, you don't think that's Greg Valentino?
No way. So Jimmy, and the thing about it is, in like many marriages that have lasted that long, they really don't like each other anymore. The truck and Jimmy don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
He's always arguing with, he's battling with it. It's broken. The wheel falls off. Yep, it's always something with the truck, right? So he's miserable. He needs a change of venue, and he knows it, and he just won't do it.
I think he enjoys complaining. I really do. I think he's gotten to that point in life where he just likes to be miserable, and he knows his own misery. And I think that's a good tie-in to the fact that we're going to be having New Year's in 2 days, or 1 day. It'll be New Year's Eve. And I think that a lot of you guys out there are become complacent with your misery. And I know it sounds ridiculous when you listen to me saying it, but we love the misery that we know, because we fear the unknown, especially as we get older. And I know Jimmy fears the unknown for sure.
Absolutely.
And he's very comfortable in his misery that he's in right now. And he would rather just be in that little box and complain a lot about it, rather than leave that box that he doesn't know and go to uncharted territory, so to speak, and possibly find happiness, because he doesn't like the fact that there's possibly in there. He wants that assurance that, you know, he's got the insurance policy of having the truck. He drives the truck. He makes his money. He can pay his rent, but he complains about everything. The weather sucks. He hates his place where he lives. He doesn't have his own place. He rents. He hates the truck. He can't do anything. He doesn't sleep in it, but he knows that misery. And we all fall into this trap a lot. And, you know, it's very easy for 10, 20, 30 years to pass. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was supposed to move. I was supposed to do great things. I never did it, you know?
Yeah. The odd thing about it is that we, and this goes for you, me, Valentino, Jimmy the Bull, all the old Italian guys who, when we grew up in the Italian family, we always saw the quirky old men complaining, yelling, arguing, right? And now we look and we're slowly turning into them, you know? Exactly. We vowed we never would, right? So now here we are, you know, older, getting on, and we're quirky. And Jimmy's quirks are, I don't know who's quirkier, Greg or Jimmy, but they're up there, you know. And then you know, you and me and you can fall in somewhere behind there, but not as bad. We're not
in defense of Greg, though. Greg does what Greg likes to do. He's not.
Oh, absolutely.
He's not in that discomfort zone.
No.
He likes what he's doing. Jimmy's miserable.
Well, it doesn't mean he's not quirky.
Greg would like more money, but he actually enjoys what he does on the daily. He goes to the gym at 2 in the morning. They go dumpster diving. He likes all that stuff. You know,
and it gives him a lot of fodder for his complaining. So it's, you know, and the stories he tells 7-8 times over. But
he has no stress in his life whatsoever.
No, and that is indicative.
Yeah, he'll live to 100 for sure.
He will, and that is indicative of some of the old men around the table when we were kids, right? They weren't all the same, but they were quirky. Yeah. So, but in Jimmy's case, the thing with Jimmy, and I wish he would come on the show, is that at this point, it is becoming more of an insult to his health than his psyche. So his health is deteriorating. He's in terrible shape. He'll tell you that himself. Yeah. All right. And he's just letting himself go, driving the truck. The truck is killing him. It's sucking the will. It's sucking the life out of him.
You know what he does? You know how he gets through the day, how he keeps his energy up? He eats a bag of Kit Kats while he's driving the truck. That's why he's got a belly on him. And that's why all the health markers are off on him.
Yeah. So the problem with individuals such as that is that they don't get the message until it's too late. You know, so what do we have to have here, Jimmy? A massive heart attack, a stroke? What do we have to have here for you to like, okay, all right, I'm going to take a chance and live?
He went to the emergency room, John, on like Christmas or something like that, and they sent him home.
He was lonely.
He said, "Get out of here."
He was lonely. That is so characteristic of older men, lonely men, is that they do that. They'll go to the emergency room because someone will talk to them and take care of them and hold their hand and, you know, make sure take their pulse. And
speaking of living to 100, Jimmy Carter just died at 100.
Did he die?
Yeah, he died today, just a couple hours ago. I have a theory, because you notice all these presidents and all the royal
live to 100.
They all live to 100 because I'm convinced that they have access to drugs.
Yeah, no,
we don't have access to.
Reagan lived to like 90 something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it started with him. And then, even before him, what was it, Johnson or
all the presidents lived into their 90s?
They lived well into their 90s. Yeah, all of them.
They die of old age. They don't die of disease.
Right.
Which tells me that they have cures for diseases that we don't have access to.
Yeah, because look at Bill Clinton. I mean, he's what age? He looks great for his age. Yeah. You know.
Yep. You didn't I thought Reagan, didn't he have like cancer on his nose? They cut part of his nose off.
No, he had colon. He had colon cancer. I think he had a skin tab too. That was
he had some kind of skin cancer. But my point is that these guys they get medications that we just don't have access to. You know, so I'm convinced.
What? Oh, here, who do we have? Great, it's Lee.
I'm calling bullshit here. Didn't I say it's at 2:30 my time, and you said yes?
Lee, we went over it. I said 9:30 my time. I said 6 hours from when you texted me. It was
How
whatever,
can we tell Lee the right time?
8 hours from when I text you.
or whatever it was. Now
You go look at your text message. I said 2:30.
Lee, he told me 9.
No, I know I told you, John, the wrong time, but I told
And he
him.
reminded me. He reminded me in another text at 9. It was
I said, you want to come on Heavy Muscle Radio at 9:30 p.m. He's like, that's 2:30 my time. He's like, it's 5:30 now. I said, well, it's 1:30 here. I said, that's in 8 hours. So 8 hours would be 9:30 here. Yeah. So
When I said 2:30, when I said 2:30, you didn't say no.
I said it's 8 hours, so that means it should be 10:30 for you there, right?
I want to see Abbott and Costello do that.
Yeah. I got to tell you, Lee, I'm going to say it again. I watched it a second time. Your documentary is maybe one of the best bodybuilding documentaries ever done. I haven't seen it. It's Rebel with a Cause. It's downloadable now, right, Lee? Through your
on Vimeo. On Vimeo, and I've had people complain, say, when's it coming to Amazon Prime? I don't want to download another app. You download fucking X and Snapchat and all this, but you don't want to download Vimeo to watch it.
How much is it to download? What do you have to pay for that thing?
That's $5.99 to rent.
Oh, that's so cheap.
No, $5.99 to rent or $9.99 to buy it.
No one wants to buy it. They'll rent it. But let me ask you this question.
Cheaper than a coffee. Come on.
Yeah. Let me ask you this question. How many downloads have you gotten so far? Do you know?
I don't know. I think when someone looked at it a couple of days ago, it was like 700 or 800.
Oh, good. Very good. You guys, if you want to watch, I know a lot. I don't watch many documentaries, about bodybuilders because a lot of them are, self-made and they kind of like cheesy. But this thing could be on Netflix. It's that good, really.
And I think Barry too is going to do what he did with Chris, is because the first version I saw, there's a lot more had my racing on it and had like Melvin and other people telling different funnier stories. So
they should have outtakes. They should have outtakes. I think it would be too long if they put everything in there, but they should do like the special features afterwards. I think that's what for the fans could watch.
Guess who I had a phone call from? I was on the phone for 2 hours. 2 hours.
With who?
Wayne DeMilia.
Wow. What did he have to say?
Can't say.
That's a short call for him.
Don't tell him. I don't want to hear you going to compete in some other organization that he started.
Oh, there's a comeback coming.
Yeah.
Jeez, normally when you talk, the phone rings, it's him. You got to pack a lunch.
Yeah, I think Wayne wants to make some money. I think Wayne is going to have Lee fighting Jake Paul in Mumbai, India. Wayne,
to counteract the fit model, is going to have the washed up, I still believe I can do it bodybuilding division.
Speaking of people who live to 100, how old is Wayne now? He's old, right? He's up there. He's about to be 80.
He's probably close to 80.
He'd have to be in his mid-70s, wouldn't he?
Late 70s.
I think he's almost, because Jim Mannion just turned 80 last year, so he's got to be close to that.
Yeah, he's if not already there.
He's doing great too.
Remember, he had prostate cancer.
Yeah. That's what brought down the PDI, the prostate cancer.
Yep. Oh, is that why he stopped doing it? I thought it was because he wasn't making any money.
No, because the second year was like, the prostate cancer thing came, so he had to really go focus on that. I think there was something with the family.
Yeah, he had to focus.
Xavier Wills watching from an airplane. Xavier, what are you doing on an airplane?
Hey, I just spoke to Xavier. He sent me a thing. When he was in Sydney, he walked around the street just asking random people, do you know who Lee Priest and Sampson is? And more people knew who Lee Priest was.
I would think so, yeah.
I would think
just like random people, not like bodybuilding people, just general people.
Well, you're very popular in Australia.
They're probably like, oh, he's that guy from the Houso show, the white power guy.
Look, if they had, I don't know if Australia has a Wikipedia page, but if they did, you probably should be on it as like one of the more famous Australians,
Right under Paul Hogan.
Yeah. You might not be as good as Crocodile Dundee, but you're close. You're close. And what's the other guy who died with the stink? The reptile guy. What's his name?
Tell Larry,
Steve Irwin.
Tell Larry in the comments that says, Lee, we don't want. It's you on RX, not 2, you fucking idiot. If you're going to try and abuse me, get it right.
Yeah.
Dave, you're ruining all the rumors having me on because
I know.
half these idiots, it's like we're fighting. I'm done with RX,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you
Yeah.
tell us what's happened.
But you're like Jesus Christ. I want to resurrect you. You know, you are a priest after all.
Right.
So we like to bury you in the ground and then we bring you back to life every so often.
So was it Cito in Florida? Is that why we're here?
Yeah, Chris is in Florida. His connection last week was horrendous.
Again, Larry just commented. Lee has such a huge ego, which I don't. Thinks he is actually famous. Well, Larry, you've mentioned my name twice.
Is that the real Larry? That's not our Larry, is it?
No.
That's
That's probably the other guy that normally comments on the other one. Remember, he always says, "Oh, Lee's in the comments making about himself," and like he'll mention my name 100 times. I'm like, then don't mention my name for fuck's sake.
If you weren't famous, no one would know your name.
Tomorrow is actually Chris Acito's birthday, so we got to give a big, huge happy birthday out to Chris Acito.
Happy birthday, Chris.
How old's Chris tomorrow?
Yeah, here we're working for you.
He's 57. I think he's like a year older than me, but he's really not a year older because I'm in February, so we're like really only 2 months apart. What did Xavier
There's Larry again. Lee makes every RX show worse. And then Larry, fucking log off. Go watch fucking Dave's live.
But yeah, you know, it's these end of the year shows. There's always a little bit of melancholy there. I don't know why. I always get like a little choked up because it's like the years pass so fast, and I'm like trying to think what happened this past year. I can't even remember. It's such a blur of all the things that happened. But I will say this: I know that we lost people in our industry, but I don't think we lost anywhere near what we lost prior years, the 2 or 3 prior years to this.
I just watched this film that showed 25 in 2024.
Yeah, but we had a lot of older.
Most of them, I got to say, most of them were Brazilian and German.
Yeah.
I mean, the far majority were Brazilian, South American and Brazilian. So,
you know, we did a
25.
Yeah, I want to bring something up here.
The worst was Eugene. That was the worst one.
Oh yeah, that was very sad, but very, very sad. So I did see this. This is going to tell you how long you're going to live. Let's see.
The line in your hand.
You seen that line in your hand?
Yep.
Does yours go all the way down? Mine does.
Mine goes all the way around my thumb.
Yeah. Oh, Lee's got a long one too. Yeah. If it goes across there, guys, then you're going to live a very long life.
Which hand? Does it matter which hand?
What he's doing now is your heart line. It's your left hand.
Which one?
That's your heart line right there.
My lifeline goes all the way around.
Yeah, if it hooks around your palm like mine does too.
Yeah. Yeah. So people in the comments, you're going to be seeing this miserable face for a long time.
Yeah, you're going to see all 3 of these miserable faces for a long time.
Yeah,
which one's the top one here? What's that?
Yeah, I'm good too.
That's your heart line. Oh, you got a good heart line there. Yeah, look at that. He's got some deep. You got some deep groove lines, man.
Yeah,
this must be my height line because it's shorter.
That's your intellectual line. Let me see John's. Hold on.
Hey.
Oh, you got a long one too, John. Yeah, well, you got longevity in your genes.
What's this one on your right hand? Where the big lifeline is on your right hand? What's the one that shoots up the middle bit near your lifeline?
Are you gonna? Dave's good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go.
All right, we're gonna be around for a while.
What's yours, Lee?
Like this one. There's the lifeline, the big one. What's this one here?
Look at his hands. He's a myostatin negative, definitely.
We already know that.
I know, but look at them. They're like little, like he's got like biceps on his hands.
I know. He's got muscles everywhere.
Looks like a bum. Looks like someone's bum. That's my bum. That's my bum when I'm 70.
How do you know when you drop your phone between the front seat of your car?
He can't
get his hand down there. That hand is like a meaty fucking thick hand.
It looks like that's how my fist looks. Look, it looks like a hammer.
It does.
Can you imagine if he stuck that thing up someone's, you know what? Holy mackerel. It would never come out again.
Don't give me ideas. I might do it to myself. I'll have some.
Good thing Greg was on the show.
Is that Mr. G? Wow.
Captain Protein MMA Kitchen.
You want to come on, Mr. G, if I send you the link?
Captain Protein MMA Kitchen.
That only could be him. There's no imposter.
Yeah. No, it should be. Well, no. Surfing the 90-foot wave should be on there.
Hold on. He sent me it. He did send me it.
Thank you, Larry, for mentioning my name again, Larry. Yes, you're making the show.
Larry's really loving you, man.
Hold on. So we had I'll send Mr. G the link.
Send Georgie the link.
Send Jimmy the link. He should be on holiday, shouldn't he? He's got no.
No, I reached out. He's sleeping. He said he has to get up at 1 a.m. for fucking drive a truck or something like that. I don't know what he's. I don't know if I believe him anymore. It's hard to trust him. Let me pull up the. We had Sid put up a post on RX Muscle. Let me pull this up here. About if there was a Mount Rushmore, who would you put on the Mount Rushmore of bodybuilding?
Oh,
Me.
yeah.
It's all about me, according to Larry. So me. Me when I'm 5, me when I'm 10, me when I'm 15, and me when I'm...
Only.
What 4 faces would you put on there?
I said...
Do they have to be bodybuilders, or can they be like Joe Weider? Or?
Yeah, it can be anyone in the bodybuilding industry you could put on there, yeah.
Joe Weider.
Well, give us your 4. I'll give you my 4. And, we can debate it.
Well, I could probably maybe put Arnold because he made bodybuilding mainstream into the movies.
Yeah, I think Arnold has to be there.
I wouldn't put Mr. Olympia because there's been too many good ones. It'd be hard to pick one.
Well, who's the best of them all? Ronnie? Could put Ronnie.
He was good that year, but then there's been Dorian, and then there's been Lee Haney. So it's like,
well, who changed the face of bodybuilding? I would have to believe Arnold is number 1.
Me, I did, Dave. I did because there's been no one like me.
Can we just? How about if we put something like a little guy in the front somewhere? Like how like they always put the little guy in the front. Maybe we could make another little space.
I can be like
hitting your victory. You can hit your victory pose.
The little guy in the front.
And you can have Blackman underneath you.
Oh yeah, put Steve on there.
All right, so
I bet you Blackman read that whole thread and looking for his name.
Yeah, just competitive bodybuilders we'll stick to. All right, no.
That's not fair. It's got to be bodybuilding. Period.
All right, so I would definitely. You got to put Arnold on there. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you could argue.
Well, Lee, give us your 4. Dave, give your 4. I'll give my 4.
Arnold, Joe Weider. And would you put Jim Anion's been around a long time running the NPC, and
that's why I think you should have a separate Mount Rushmore for the people who didn't compete necessarily at the pro level, but were impactful. Let's do.
But if it wasn't for these people, there wouldn't be no competitions.
All right, we'll do 2 separate ones. Let's do the bodybuilders that competed first.
Or by the time we're finished, it'll be like the Great Wall of fucking China.
Let's just do bodybuilders. So,
yeah. Arnold.
I think you got to have Ronnie on there. There's no way you can't put Ronnie on there.
Because then if I put Ronnie, I'd have to put Dorian, then I'd have to put Lee Haney.
No, you don't have to put those guys because Ronnie.
I'm going Arnold, and I'm going Tom Platz because he was very motivating. He still is. He's down to earth. Great character.
So you think in the history, when historically 100 years from now, people are going to remember Tom Platz? You think? All right, maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
It's his 4. Let him have his 4.
All right, go ahead.
Don't try to change my mind.
Okay.
Tom Platz. I'm trying to think now. Bodybuilding.
I would say who has the most interesting faces. Those are the people we should put on there, right?
Me with the tattoo. Then I'm back on there.
There you go. You're back in Mike for the top 4.
Actually, yes. Someone mentioned. I was going to say Matt Araje because he was a larger than life character too.
Yeah.
So I'm going by more to bodybuilders and their personalities and characters because a lot of these champions weren't always the most liked by the fans and shit. So
I'm a Boston Lloyd, Rich Piana, and
no.
Leo
Greg Valentino, but we'd have to put his arms up there as well.
And Greg Valentino.
Yeah, great.
Have you actually seen, speaking of Mount Rushmore, have you seen that one they're doing in the Dakota Mountains of Crazy Horse?
No, what are they doing?
Google it, Crazy Horse. Like the guy started it so long ago.
It's a huge sculpture of an Indian on a horse. It's amazing.
Yeah, like the whole mountain's going to be this horse with its legs
It's
out.
way bigger than Mount Rushmore.
Oh, it's like crazy.
Yeah, incredible.
The Black
decades they've been working
Black
on it.
Mountains of Dakota, I think.
Yep.
I'll pull it up, hold on.
When you see what it's going to look like when it's finished, I'm thinking, imagine doing that, making a mistake. It's like, oh fuck, we just lost the horse's leg. How do we get it back?
guess we got to make a smaller statue now.
Is that the guy?
That's it.
Look at that. That's the mountain there. Then did they have a picture of what it's going to look like? Yeah, that's what it's going to look like when it's finished.
Oh.
And they got the face carved a bit already. Yeah. And that's going to be the horse and that. Imagine fucking doing that.
I got to tell you, some of these artists are so incredible. It's really amazing.
The sad thing is, some of the guys that do that, you're not going to be around to see it when it's complete. It's going to take that long.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a monument to be remembered. That's for sure. All right, let's skip back to the Mount Rushmore.
I did my 4.
So
Who are
are
you
we-
Hmm?
Who are you for? I didn't hear your fourth.
Joey. No, it had to be bodybuilders, didn't it? Arnold, Tom
Yeah.
Platz, Matarazzo, and Greg Valentino.
Forget about it.
did Greg compete?
Yeah, he competed. Natural. Yeah.
Naturally, don't you know that, John? Naturally.
I thought he never
This
competed.
guy says Rich Piana, Jason Genova,
But we might have to do
Big
Greg in
Lenny, and
his
Dale
days,
Champ.
because Greg in his younger days would be too much hair for the mountain, so we've got to do it when he's old.
In all seriousness, I think we got to have Arnold. You got to have Ronnie. I would say, really, I mean, Haney has got to be up there too. I mean,
You got to put Chris
one of
Bumps
the
next, are you?
and I think I mean Dorian. I mean those are probably your best Olympians of all time, right? I mean, Jay would have a better, more interesting head if we carved his head.
It doesn't have to be a Mr. Olympia, though.
No, I'm just saying, but people who impactful to the body change.
Right.
In other words, because bodybuilding evolved, right? So Arnold was the first incarnation. That was like the first age. The second great leap that we made in bodybuilding progress was Haney. Haney was the biggest. I mean, no one was as big as Haney back in the day. You had Gaspari and Lee Labrada and Sean, but they were so much smaller. And then Dorian took it to the next level, and then Ronnie took it to another level, and then we had never gone beyond that. So
Your list
those
is
three
shit.
guys really, and Arnold, really defined the different eras of bodybuilding, I think.
Your list is shit. We're going to give you a wall with silhouettes at Venice Beach, not Mount Rushmore. Fuck that list.
All right, I'm gonna go do Lou Ferrigno instead of Arnold.
Instead of Arnold.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna do Lou.
Why did Arnold lose his place since when he said "screw your feet"? Freedom.
Well, right. When you evolve into a dick, you lose your place on Mount Rushmore. So,
Yeah. And Louis
was always more impressive than Arnold anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had to pick the best bodybuilder out of the two of them, ultimately it would be Louis. And more impactful, he was on TV way more than Arnold. So I'm going to go with Louis.
Not in movies though, but
Still not movies, but he did a lot of movies.
This is your list. You get your list.
Everybody watched TV.
I'm just saying, I'm picking Louis over Arnold.
All right.
Definitely Ronnie Coleman. Absolutely Ronnie Coleman.
All right.
I'm going to put Dexter Jackson in there too because he won everything.
Okay.
And if you win everything, I think you get your head on.
You're going to be added to his birthday list for sure. You might even get a little inheritance when he dies.
What's his name? Sergio Oliva.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That was a good one.
And I'll tell you why. Sergio was I think the first bodybuilder that you unanimously looked at and went, "Whoa,
Peter Dinklage."
Yeah, like wow. So that's my 4. But
Instead
my other
of
ones
Rushmore,
are not really inclusive of many competitors at all.
Instead of Mount Rushmore, why don't we go out to like Arizona where Red Rock is, where they've got hundreds of rocks and actually carve the bodies into the rock, so it's the whole body.
All of them.
Too bad David Paul died. He could have done that. That would have been a good project for him, man. He probably could have done it too. Give him a little chisel and a hammer and just let him out.
You know what? He probably could have figured it out.
Yeah, I guarantee he would have.
Yeah, he would have. Eventually.
May he rest in peace, man.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's. I don't think the greatest presidents of all time are on Mount Rushmore, right? I mean, but they're impactful presidents. So it doesn't. There's no right or wrong.
Trump should be up there. Someone start carving Trump's head up there.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love that. That would be his last thing.
He
might carve himself in there up there.
He might buy Mount Rushmore and erase a couple.
I did hear what's his name? Jimmy Carter died today.
We said that before he came on. We were saying how all these presidents live to 100. It's amazing,
Because they drink the blood in that.
It's that. Yeah, what's that called? Yeah. Something chloroquine, chromium, something or
chlorochrome, something like that.
Chromium, chloroquine, the blood of little babies.
Kodachrome. That was a song by
How are we gonna Sid? But how are we gonna pick who wins? Sid said, post your entries for for bodybuilding Mount Rushmore. We'll pick one entry for a free something or another, whatever I want to give away for free. By the way, we're gonna have a Species Nutrition New Year's sale. Sid and I are gonna discuss it tomorrow. We'll post that. So we don't have that sale up yet. That'll be for Tuesday and Wednesday probably. But
so who determines the best Mount Rushmore?
The best Mount Rushmore. Oh, the best. Yeah, but you know what the problem is, Sid, with the best Mount Rushmore? There's not a lot of choice.
There's no right answer.
Yeah, hold on. Is that George?
That's George.
Lower your camera, Mr.
Wait.
G.
How did you? Can't believe you didn't even ask how you could even ask who that is. The first thing you see is the ceiling fan. The next thing you see is the top of his head. And who else would that be?
What? You've got a great camera. What happened?
I know what happened.
My cameraman went back to Long Island.
Oh. Can you tilt the camera down a little bit so we can see more of you?
Lee and Mr. G are back on the show. People are going to think, is this an old show from 6 months ago?
I like to shock people every once in a while, you know. So got to keep them on their toes, right?
We know Dave was low on guests when he's got Mr. G and me back on.
Yeah.
I know Aceto's on vacation when he says
we're on the Island of Misfits, and Santa Claus is coming to town.
Yeah, everyone else was on holidays. That was only you and I.
You know how when you're watching like Fox News and you get like Christmas and you get, if you're going to watch Jesse Waters' show, it's somebody else is doing Jesse Waters. That's like us. This is supposed to be Aceto's show with Dave, but Aceto's on vacation because it's the holidays, so he's calling up the B team. So here we are.
You're the A team. We moved the A team to Tuesdays. That's all. But
George and I are like the Z team. We were on the very least. Like, oh fuck, there's only 2 names left. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Filling in for Chris Aceto.
You need 2 people to fill in for the Chris.
3.
So hold on. So let me ask you before you run away or get disconnected. Where have you been the last year or so?
Training.
It was also part of the election.
You worked. So you worked the election. Did you?
Yeah, the campaign.
What'd you do?
Calling people on the phone. At the headquarters.
He was working for the Republicans.
Thank you for doing that because it helped.
I was calling up Spanish people too.
Legal ones or illegal ones?
What did you tell the Spanish people?
He was giving us free cookies.
I call them up and go, listen, you're an American now. This country needs you. Okay? Now that you're part of the country and you're an American citizen, we need you to get out there and vote.
That's why Trump got the Spanish vote. It's all George's.
Right. And then they say, but I'm not an American citizen. And George says, details.
Doesn't matter.
We'll work that out later.
I got to give a compliment out. Hold on, wait a second. I got to give, before I forget, because I can't remember anything. I got to give, John sent me a tin. First of all, I get this tin in the mail, and it's got the jumbo Palumbo thing on it. I'm like, George is making cookies again. And then I remember that John was sending me cookies. I knew George didn't have my new address. So I opened this thing up. I guess you used the Dave Palumbo, jumbo Palumbo cookie tin. And John made this huge thing of Christmas cookies. And they're fucking, what are those things called again? They're so good.
It's funny you say that. My mum sent me some cookies just last week in this tin.
You know what? When I got that tin, I'm like, George did a really good job on these tins. I don't know how you had to learn.
I saved it.
Like they're worth like $100.
That's Summer. Summer did all the art.
I understand, but whoever printed those things up for you and made those
tins. New Jersey. It's a big company.
It's unbelievable. I have mine here, and then I have the one John sent me. They're phenomenal.
It's funny. John sent you that, and my mom sent me that.
Great minds think alike, Lee.
What are they, like cannoli cookies? What are they called, John? Those cookies?
They're just white chocolate and mini M&Ms.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Holy John, you made them?
Of course I made them.
They were insane. And he sent me like 100 of them too. They're amazing.
Well, I want the kids to have a couple.
I had another tap into my face. The person in the
I ate about 20 of them already. Because you know what? I say I don't want to eat these things, and I said I'm just going to try one. and you can't stop eating them. They're so fucking good. You lose your mind eating those things. The addiction quality to them is off the charts. You know.
Yeah, I got a couple secret ingredients.
You should have your own cooking show on TV for sure. There's no doubt.
Because they're real deal.
This guy says Larry Scott, Frank Zane, Nasser, and Dorian. That's not a bad one.
Nasser, I like Nasser in there.
Someone said get a swastika. How do you know I don't already have one?
What else? Sandow, Reeves, Arnold, Haney. You know, people are criticizing.
Arnold doesn't belong on there no more.
Who?
Arnold can't go on there.
I agree.
Yeah.
No.
Arnold lost his card.
It doesn't matter because he still did what he did, even if you don't like his politics. So
I don't like
politics. It's how he feels about America.
He's not an American.
Not an American. Exactly.
Ali,
that's the way I feel. Lee's an American.
Yep. Lee is
Ali
10 times the American that Arnold is.
It has nothing to do with parties anyway.
Ali, I was married to a Muslim, Ali, so I don't hate Muslims. So I hate extremist Muslims, but I hate extremist anything. Hate extremist Christians, hate extremist Catholics.
I just realized why I was looking weird. I had my camera mirrored. I was like, I think I'm in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I thought so too. Now you're in back.
No, I'm not going to be hating everyone in the comments. I love when you troll me because it just shows me how pathetic your lives are.
Let me answer this question. If
your life's that boring, you got to talk shit about me. I don't find that so funny. I don't find that upsetting.
What's the most egregious thing someone has said about you in 2024, and what's your response to that?
Me? It's more about probably my daughter and that, banging my daughter and stuff. I'm not cool. I got photos and videos. They're selling well on things. I just agree. It doesn't bother me. So come on. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. Phil, Lonnie, Dorian, Zane.
I love atheists.
Well, who would you put on the classic physique Mount Rushmore? There's not that many guys.
I don't know 4 classic physique guys.
You have Bumstead, of course.
That's it.
Breon Ansley.
Breon, yeah.
Wesley Vissers, maybe, and how about the guy Mike Sommerfeld who just took second?
No, what's the other guy?
Ramon Dino.
No, it starts with not Roman. The other black guy.
Rough Diesel.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good guys. I don't think the division is old enough yet to really make.
I think we should talk about Mount Rushmore heads that weren't or could have been competitors, but also industry people.
All right, who would you put industry wise on the thing? Joe Weider.
I would start with Milo of Croton, right off the bat.
Who's Milo of Croton?
First bodybuilder ever.
Oh.
600 BC.
So we blame him.
He put a bull over his shoulder, a baby bull, and he walked up and down the hills. And as the bull got bigger, so did he.
I always wondered who was the first person to pick something up and realize it did this. So that's the person I got to go back in time and kill. So this shit didn't stop.
That's him, Milo of Croton. Then I would jump up to Eugene Sandow because you can't have bodybuilding without him. Mm-hmm. And then Joe Weider, of course, and Joe Gold.
Joe Gold, Gold's Gym,
absolutely. So that's my.
What about Ben though?
No, Brian.
I don't put Ben in the same.
Ben was riding the coattails of Joe, I think. Yeah.
Brian, I haven't had an actual job since I was 17 because since then I've had sponsors and I became something in this world. I became someone that important that you keep mentioning my name and know who I am. Guess what, Brian? No one knows who the fuck you are, and the ones that do wish they never met you. So thank
you. What did he say? You never worked, Lee? He
asked me have I ever had a real job.
They're jealous that you never had a real job.
What is he talking about? You had to dedicate your whole fucking life to training and eating?
What is a real job, actually? What's the definition of that?
Yeah, what's that? Oh, I don't know. I have to ask. And maybe Brian knows. His mum's got a real job, but she's never home. Too busy giving blowjobs at the truck stop. So.
He asked for that. He wasn't. He knew he was going to get that.
You know how you circumcise a homeless guy?
How?
Hit Brian's mother in the chin.
Ooh.
I'm here all day, Brian.
That was pretty egregious, right there.
How about Joe Weider?
Yep.
Bob Kennedy.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
John Balick.
He going for all the magazines.
All the magazines.
And Steve, and no, I'll skip. We'll skip Steve. We'll give it to what's his name, Bill Phillips.
Bob Hoffman.
Bill Phillips.
I'm gonna upset people and put Wayne DeMille on there for promotion.
Ooh.
No, if we're doing people like who run it, you got to do Jim Mannion. Yeah, I think Wayne would be in there because
Big
Wayne
Steve.
Big Steve Weinberg. Yeah,
Judging would not be judging without him.
That's true. And one more person.
John Lindsay.
John Lindsay's a big name too. Yeah, very big promoter.
Yeah.
Gary Udit. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of very influential people that made a very big impact in bodybuilding, and I it's impossible. It's hard to take only a few.
Joe Gold though would have to be like.
Here's my question for you guys. I'm going to open up the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame at some point when I win the lottery.
You're like Ben Weider going to the Olympics with the body.
I'm not dying with $1 billion in the bank. I'm spending it. I'm going to build the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame. When I do, I want outside the Bodybuilding Hall of Fame. I want to have a bodybuilder posing. Who would you put outside? If you had to pick one iconic bodybuilder in one particular pose, who would the bodybuilder be, and what would the pose be?
Flex Wheeler.
Lee Priest in the myth pose.
Yeah, Lee Priest in the myth
doing
pose.
This. Lee doing this.
Yep, that would be one.
Lee
Wheeler
doing that.
Yep.
You could do Sergio doing the myth pose too, though.
Yeah,
we could probably get his son we can get Sergio Jr. to pose for it too for the sculptor. That's a good one.
Let's put Robbie there because Robbie got ripped off with his pose.
You can do this, Robbie, with this pose. Got his arms crossed.
Yeah. Well, that was Joe.
Yeah. But we'll put Robbie's head on it this time.
Yeah. How about Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk in a Hulk pose?
That's a good one.
Flex
Wheeler in that, with his one leg.
Outside the music, one of those.
Hands on hips, most muscular.
The Zane vacuum.
There's too many. What you have to do is be like in there's that place you can go. Outside the museum, you'd have to get all those hedges and just get someone to cover.
It's like Six Flags. You'd have to have 6 bodybuilders right in the front. Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard to pick one person because Ronnie was the biggest freak, but he really didn't have one pose that was super great. I guess front double biceps.
I think opinions. That's why it's hard to pick. It's like you like cars when you say what's the greatest car. Someone could go Ferrari. Someone's going to be Lamborghini, Bugatti. So they're all great. So to pick just a couple.
How do you pick one? Exactly.
How about maybe put Big Lenny out there. Get a sculptor of Big Lenny. But it would be hard. It would be hard. All right. Let's not forget the women. If we had to put the women on Mount Rushmore, who are we going to put? It could be any division.
Rachel McLeish.
Corey.
I don't know if Ray. I think Corey would be the first iconic woman I would pick.
Tonya Knight brought a lot to the sport because she was very attractive and very like a lot of women wanted to be like Tonya Knight. I think more than Corey.
Oh yeah, Tonya. Yeah.
I would say Dana Lee Bailey too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Linda Murray or Iris. Iris is the most winningest bodybuilder of all time. The cold pass.
You wouldn't put
Are we picking bodybuilding women that just look like bodybuilders?
I would put Corey.
They look
Linda Murray. I love Iris. I might put Iris in. It would be Iris or Lender. It would be one of those.
Are we doing the whole body? The whole body. Yeah, we got to do the whole body. It's going to be a big rock then if we have to include the clitoris.
Oh, stop it. It doesn't have to be. It's like a body doll. It doesn't have to be anatomically correct.
Why not?
Too much material. We need
problem with that.
I don't know. Who else? Who else would you say would be iconic in the women's sport?
With Bev, because Bev was the
Bev
first.
was a pioneer.
Bev was,
Bev, if we're going on that, because that's pioneer people. She was
the biggest of her time
by far.
First muscular,
she definitely deserves a section in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Anya Langer was nice. She would put it
like a Diana Dennis is a crazy looking, who in
the modern era though would you consider iconic?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I have to think about that. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone who's really have reached that status yet.
And some of the modern ones, if you put some of the modern ones up there, it's going to look like the Sphinx and Napoleon shot their face with a cannon.
Stop it.
Well, I would put at
Well,
about
that's
10
good.
years ago,
Well,
8 or 10 years ago, you got Dana Lynn Bailey came out like gangbusters for
Who was the blonde girl before her that was in all the
women's
magazines?
physique, and then
Juliana
from her,
Malakari.
we really never got another blast of iconic, competitor.
Yeah. No.
You can't think of one.
Well, 'cause
Adela,
bodybuilding
your
is
ex Adela won a lot of
like
fitness Olympias.
Adela.
You could put, if you want to go for beauty, you could go Monica Brandt. I mean, she was iconic
Yeah.
of her day.
Yeah, but who was that blonde girl back in the day? She was on all the covers, magazines. She never competed as much as Daylene Bailey.
Greg's favorite.
Short
Yeah.
blonde hair.
Oh, Jamie Eason.
Jamie Eason.
Greg would vote for that, but yeah.
Yep, that's what Greg wants.
He would be humping the statue, John. If he ever
Pretty
came-
much, yeah.
He'd be smelling her farts like
Alfie Newman.
As the chips, as they're hammering the chisel and the chips are falling, he'd be licking the chips as they fall down.
Oh, Carla Dunlap. Who else?
Oh,
Betty Weeder. We'll put Betty Weeder.
Call it Dunlap. That's right. Call it Dunlap.
Look, Corey for sure, Linda for sure. I would say.
Laura Cravell was pretty ripped.
I would say Iris because she's 10-time Olympian champ, and I would pick one other person. I don't know who else.
Yeah, but in terms of iconic, like who changed the direction of
Rachel
the
McLean.
I'm going to give you my four. You might not agree with me. It doesn't matter. I pick Corey, Linda, Iris, and Monica Brandt. Those are my four. When I think iconic in our industry and changed it, I would say those four girls. That's my four.
Don't you think Laura Cravell? She sort of changed the conditioning a bit. I think.
Yeah, but she never won. She never won the big. She won some Arnold. She didn't win the Olympia though.
Is that Chris's wife? Is Chris Cecina's wife, Laura?
That was his ex-wife.
Yeah, long time ago.
So that's my top four. You guys want to pick a top four?
This guy obviously doesn't listen to our show. We said Bev Francis like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. I'm just going with the people who in my mind were people that I thought were special.
Well, I'm going to say Rachel McLish.
Yeah,
she was the first. Then and Corey, you got to put Corey in there too.
Yeah.
Linda Murray, and I'm going to say Tanya Knight.
Yeah,
okay. That's fine. You're entitled.
Because it's popular. Even though Tanya didn't win the Olympia, I think those posters everywhere. I think in
I
gyms.
love Tanya. Believe me,
like
but
Tanya.
Everybody loved Tanya.
Yeah. You can't really. Kim Shizeski beat Corey, beat Linda rather. Excuse me. So I mean, she definitely belongs there too.
Not many people want to look like Kim now.
What?
As far as impacting goes, more people want to look like Tanya.
Well, that's why I picked Monica Brandt because I think everyone wanted to be Monica.
Yeah.
She had bigger lines than Ronnie Coleman back in the day at the X.
True, that's true. More
remember
people
that.
wanted to see her than anybody.
Yeah. So
I think the Dana Lynn Bailey phenomenon is a honorable mention.
is it true, Lee, that you sold fake test outside of KFC in 1998?
Well, he just said
No, it was the KFC.
He just said I sold him fake GHB a second ago too. So I've been busy selling fake stuff.
Yeah.
It was fake KFC.
Yeah. I went and got it from Popeyes and just put it in the KFC bucket.
Where's Australia? There.
Hey, there it is.
Pulled that up fast, man. Wow. A lot of people are agreeing with Monica Brandt. So yeah, I think she's definitely iconic.
I agree with that. I just didn't put her in my list.
I saw a thing on YouTube. Who was the bodybuilder well known for him getting completely out of shape during the off season, and they showed Lee when you're like 300 pounds.
Funny they didn't.
Cindy Dillon is a great champion, but I just don't think that she's iconic in the sense that people will remember her 10 years from. I don't know if they'll remember her a year from now.
Who?
Sydney Gillen, even though she's got one of the best figure physiques of all time.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that there's you gotta make some kind of serious impact to become iconic.
Right.
Where people got to talk about you, and if you're not a household name, you're not there.
Right. It's a shame that in today's bodybuilding industry, this is why we're having trouble naming bodybuilders today. There's no magazine. So who's on there's like, back in the day, who was on the most magazine covers? Those are the iconic. Right. You don't have that today. So now it's who's more popular on social media. So you got Chris Bumstead. If Bleckman had that magazine still, Bumstead would be on every other cover.
Oh, yeah, really. But the other thing, Dave, is that there's 12 divisions now.
Right, but I'm just saying,
it's so diluted. I mean, you can't. No, it's so much harder now for someone to rise to the top out of 12 divisions.
Right.
How are you going to become iconic with being that far diluted with that many different divisions? So how are you going to get the wellness person to climb up and be iconic and lift herself out of 11 other divisions?
Right. Well, I mean, if she's that amazing physique-wise, John, people will remember her.
Well, she's got to be not only be that amazing physique-wise, she's got to be that amazing popularity-wise. She's got to rise to the level of, of being a standout among people occupying 12 different divisions.
Right. But why did Bumstead stand out for some reason?
Bumstead stood out because I'll tell you why. He was the most transparent dude ever. He was humble. He was totally humble. He wasn't full of himself, and he just was transparent in terms of what does he do every day. You know, it was an ongoing.
These guys do the same thing. They all do the same thing.
They didn't do it like he did. He did it in a way that was.
He has the physique to go along with it. That's why, John. He's got to be big that these guys want to have. These young kids.
A lot of guys have physiques that everybody wants to have. His physique in the mainstream is not that much more impressive than the guys who took second, third, and fourth. Why is he standing out so much? He's standing out so much because we got to look at his life. What does it take to get there? What do you do every day? What do you eat for breakfast? What's your wife look like? What does she say about all this? And that's how he got famous. Is he was open about everything.
It was
in social media.
I don't buy that. There's a lot of guys that do the same thing. It's
social media.
John, people see that physique and they want to look like that. It's.
But why wouldn't they don't want to look like the guy next to him?
He's the modern day Arnold, minus the aspirations of Hollywood and politics as far as.
But as far as a mainstream dude goes, the guy that's standing to the right and the left of him will do just fine also.
But it doesn't matter. He is tall, broad. He's got the Arnold.
I don't think his physique was what rocketed him to mainstream popularity. It wasn't his physique.
This
if
guy
Chris plays fifth and that they wouldn't be good. It's just because he's the winner. Going for Chris.
He didn't place fifth because he's got the best physique, Lee. That's why.
I'm just saying, if Chris looked like that and is in fifth, they wouldn't want to be looking like him. They always want to look like the champion.
This Sid saying a major reason C-Bomb took off is that he became a meme on TikTok. Guys used him in all their inspiration content. Girls used him in their thirst posts. That's what skyrocketed him.
Oh,
there you go.
That's a lot of it. Yeah.
The mustache.
I really don't think it
ended him. He's lucky that the mustache didn't end him because
that came close. That 80s porn star mustache. Why would you grow one of those? I mean,
I don't know. These guys think it's cool. I don't know. It's so weird how trends change and they constantly come back. I don't know why. I guess people get bored of looking the same. I don't ever on a young man. I just don't think a mustache looks good.
Especially the way he had it shaped too. It was so 80s porn star.
It was the mustache, and then Sam Sulek brought the broccoli back.
Yeah.
All those kids have that hair.
Can you imagine what Lee would look like with a mustache? Can you imagine?
I look like I just need a hard hat. I look like the guy from the Village People.
You should grow one just so we can see what it looks like, Lee.
I think the gays did it so they can recognize another gay.
Yeah, back in the day, right?
Right? I think that's what it was for.
And the guy who frosted their mustaches
really
was sending out a message, right, John?
I think
it was like a bandana in your back pocket.
I think it was to stop the G's going up your nose.
All right, we got to wind this up.
Yeah. We got 7 minutes left. I just never understood the mustache thing.
Me neither.
Beard looks good, goatee, everything.
I mean, if you're going to grow facial hair, you just grow it. I mean, you don't pick and choose which section you want to grow.
Yeah.
You just grow it. But mustaches were big for a while. A lot of people had.
Right. All right.
Had one and he frosted it.
Yeah. Let's terminate this show with predictions. All right. We got the Arnold Classic coming up. Everyone's going to be there essentially, minus Hadi Chopin. We're going to have Samson Dowda there. Nick Walker won't be there either. I'm sorry. But we have an Olympia-worthy lineup for sure. Who wins?
Samson.
if he's in shape.
Now, let me ask you this question, Lee. Lee, if the prize money had not gone up to $500,000, okay, it was only still at, let's say, 125.
Yeah.
Would we have this lineup there?
No, you'd probably still have Sampson because he likes to compete in a lot of shows. So
Yeah.
you probably have Sampson, but I don't think you'd have some of the others there. But
Yeah. Derek is there.
What's Nick Walker doing? Is he waiting to find the exact right show to do? So
He's
that
doing the New York. I think he's doing Pittsburgh and New York Pro. Yeah, I think that's what he's
the
doing.
two I want to see do well at the Arnold is if they come in shape. I want to see Akeem come in like he did his last show, if not better. And Carlos Thomas Jr., if he can keep that mass and come in hard, I'd like to see what he can do there.
It seems like it's going to be a battle between Derek and it's going to be between Sampson. I mean, those guys are the highest placed Olympians.
Florida could upset a few people too. So
yeah, I know. But think about it. I mean, Sampson and Derek are placed first and third at the Olympia.
I don't care. I hate when people say that, Dave. That's an old show. That's history. It's gone. This is next year, and anything can happen. We're not judging them on what they did last show.
You know what, though? I always say that we forget about what happened last year, and you know what? Then the next year comes, and it's like the same guys in that first call out. It always seems like we forget how good they are.
Talking about him, that's why they put him in the first call out.
Now that Jim Mannion has a show that's giving away 100,000, I don't know. I think Bader's giving away 200 this year or something like that. I think we're going to see guys competing a lot more because I would think it was. And if they don't, I think they're crazy because you better bank that money, man. Because how many opportunities do you get to make $100,000+ for first place?
Day. Yeah.
Let's make a prediction on how many years until the Olympia goes to Kuwait or Dubai.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll do that, but I think we'll see $1 million in the next 18 months. We're going to see
they're having pro surfing. They're having the World Surf Tour. They're having the second stop next year in Dubai. They built a big giant wave pool.
I was going to say they'd have to make a wave pool.
So Lee's correct. They're going to just they make $1 trillion. They don't care. They'll just offer like $10 million for first prize.
They made a ski slope. Why don't they make a wave pool?
Conor McGregor for 120. What is it? $120 million, $200 million, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I reckon by 2028 the Olympia will be in Dubai.
No, I don't think so. Do you think that they'll announce a $1 million prize this year?
Yes, 100%
for next year?
More than that.
I said Arnold should just do it.
I think Arnold's getting old. Within a year or two, there'll be no more Arnold Classic.
Now that Arnold knows none of us like him anymore, he'll probably increase the prize money. Just
I like Arnold. I'm on the record. I'm not on your record. I'm not on your record. I'm on my own record. I still like Arnold.
I used to like Arnold.
With him. Dave wants to get a photo.
No, I haven't had an interview or a photo with him, but I still want to be invited to a show.
Dave's going to the Arnold deck this year.
I wouldn't sell out.
No, look. When Arnold said "screw your freedoms," I really don't. I think he was taken out of context. Although I think this stupid thing he's got with Trump going, it's an ego thing. I don't like that because you know they're both on the same side, and Arnold is trying to put Trump.
And you know that Arnold voted for Trump. It's no doubt about it.
I want you to wear a Trump or Roger Stone shirt and have a photo with Arnold, Dave.
Trump should take over. Trump should buy the Arnold Classic, and he should start running that thing, right?
Yeah.
Trump's going to start training. He's going to start.
He did the Miss Universe.
In 4 years, he's got to have nothing to do, so he can run the Arnold Classic.
Well, I mean, he ran the Miss Universe contest very successfully. So why couldn't he do bodybuilding?
And then he could get onto the bodybuilding Mount Rushmore if he did that, because then he would technically have crossover.
Yes,
right.
He's
he could be on two Mount Rushmore.
He can step into the bodybuilding Mount Rushmore.
He could be on two Mount Rushmores in one lifetime.
Trump can have Kennedy run the Arnold Classic.
There you go. I'll take that, man.
I'll take that too.
Yeah. You think that he'll be confirmed, Kennedy?
Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
You don't think they're going to try to pull a fast one?
They're going to try, but he's not. It's not going to work.
Aren't they trying to start all this stuff now with Elon Musk and Trump and the immigrants coming over to work and stuff? They're trying to start saying there's trouble in paradise with Elon and Trump now.
Well, you know what? Patrick Bet-David predicted that. He 2 months ago, he said they're going to start calling Elon President Elon, and they're going to say Trump's his puppet, purposely to get the two of them in a fight. But I think
it's called dialogue. It's called so, like we have different opinion and we talk about our ideas and we work it out.
Yes.
With the other leftist maniac communists, it's only one way. There's no dissent. You can't say, well, I feel this way or that way. So
let me ask you guys a question. Going back to the Arnold Classic of physique. We have no Ramon Dino. We have no Urs Kalsinski. We will have Mike Sommerfeld, who was second to Bumstead. And we will have Wesley Vissers, who's trying to defend his title. Who wins?
That Mike's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, Sommerfeld's on the rise, but I think Vissers was off at the Olympia. I think Vissers is the defending champ. I think he has a very good shot to repeat, but it'll be a good battle. Who will be the next Classic Physique Olympia champ? That's the question I want to ask you guys.
One of the biggest stories of the year you missed is Ellen DeGeneres moved to the UK.
Thank you. Thank God.
Thank you. And the place got flooded out the same week she went.
The Diddy list.
Forget that. Getting back to the Classic. Who wins the Classic Olympia this year? With no Bumstead there.
Maybe
Sommerfeld.
Ramon, Urs, Wesley, Sommerfeld.
I'm going to stick with Sommerfeld.
Sommerfeld was second this past year.
I know, and he looked really good too.
I think that Wesley Vissers, if he can bring it, I think he's got the most impressive, freakiest physique out there.
But it's a big if, though.
Yeah. Well, he brought it for the Arnold Classic.
He did. He brought it that way. He did bring it once at least.
He's got a big structure, and I think he's like an Arnold-like structure, and I think that really gives him an advantage. The problem is he has to come in full enough, and when you have a weight class you got to make, and it's hard to fill out when you suck down to make weight. So it's a balancing act. And I think if he can balance it properly, he could absolutely win the Olympia.
Are you so nostalgic like me and come the beginning of the year, you missed the Iron Man Pro show?
I do. I loved going to that show. It was like, I don't know. There was just something to it. It's like, it was the beginning of the season. It was like to go to the Arnold.
Dave, I got a shirt for you to wear to the Arnold.
Let me see.
Yeah, good one.
I love it. That's great.
Awesome.
Did they give that to you for working
species on here?
Did they make that for you because you were working the poles, or you made that yourself?
No, I got this. This is what I wore.
Oh, that's what you wore at the polling place.
No. As a poll watcher, when I'm a poll watcher, I can't wear anything. And I can't talk to anybody.
They didn't let Amin Alai in with a Roger Stone shirt on. They wouldn't even let him go into they made him take off his shirt and change it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to break up a couple of fights.
You did? At the polling place?
So as a poll watcher, what happens is you, which by the way, we had 250,000 poll watchers. And that's amazing, right? When it starts in the morning, when it opens up for voting, we had two machines. Whatever number of machines, you take the number of the machine, and then you look on the machine. It should be 0 because nobody voted yet. Then every hour, the poll watcher will go look to see how many votes came in. All right, and then at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, say it closed at 7. If there's anybody still online, they get to come in. And then after that, we close the doors, and then we press a button on the machine, and then a big printout comes of all the votes, who they voted for, everything right away, like this. And within 40 minutes, that sheet of paper, that receipt, like a receipt you get from the grocery store, is supposed to be printed on the precinct, on the front doors, so the general public, most of the people don't realize, can go and look.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, wow. So I had the print. So for them to be counting votes after the fact, like weeks later, is impossible.
Right. Who won? What was the vote count where you were working?
Trump.
How much?
My father was a poll watcher until he met his
boyfriend.
Okay.
I knew
I'll see you guys.
All right, John's got to go. Let's give a New Year's message to the fans out there, John, before you go.
All right. Happy New Year, everyone. Be prosperous and productive, and try to be the best you can possibly be at whatever it is that you do.
Very, very wise words.
Awesome.
And we send our prayers out to Jimmy the Bull that he survives his 1 a.m. truck driving experience, and he makes it home for New
And
Year's.
Mr. G and I will be back the same time, December 30th,
We'll be here.
2025. We'll see you all then.
It's actually already New Year's Eve for Lee Priest, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it is already.
Oh, no, it's the 30th today.
Oh, the 30th.
Yeah, 30th. We got one more day.
Happy birthday, Chris Aceto. Thank you guys for
Yep.
joining us live as always. And we will see you on Tuesday for the After Hours New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Palumbo.
Oh, well.
La Vista.
All right, guys. Happy New Year.
Thanks, George, for joining us.
All
Happy
right.
New Year.
See you next year.